See where everybody is at. All right. Yeah, I think we'll give Kyle and Dan see where they're at, give them a sec. But I think the big thing kind of on my mind, obviously, Joel is coming back from leading a strategy session. I was up in Canada with a strategy session last week. And just really getting dialed in for 26 and just making sure we're keeping our foot on the gas really production wise over the next 30 45 days. Yeah, I mean, I think guys want to share kind of anything that you guys are seeing kind of in the marketplace. We're hearing kind of buyer confidence. I mean, that seems to be the biggest issue. Inventory is starting to creep up a little bit, but buyers are still not confident. I know the conversations having, especially higher price point markets, buyers are just sitting on the sidelines until they can kind of get see some confidence or see some wins. But um, definitely no want be nice tos. A lot of have tos is kind of where everything is right now. I know our focus coming out of the strategy session last week, and then and Joel, I'd love for you to kind of the direction and mindset where with you coming out of it, where people are thinking. But they're obviously Canada doesn't run kind of like what Kyle runs with strongest cash offer. Nobody really runs hard with that. So that's kind of their angle. They go after kind of from an investor standpoint, and really just tripled the size of the team when they merged together to be able to get more opportunities. Essentially, their whole play is maximize as much profit as possible and then put that money to work. They're big, Kyle, on hard money lending, getting you know north of 15, 18% on the money.
Wonderful. I'd love to learn that too.
And and so what he also does is he does it for his team. So he helps his team get extremely profitable, and then he'll help them take their money and use their money to make money. Kind of the phase that we're going to go into when we meet in January for strategy. Going into planning for Q1 into Q2. Um, Obviously, we'll see what the market's doing, kind of where we're at. I mean, they got one of the best brands. Um, oh snap! Yeah, you better take care of that, Trev. Um, and so yeah, no, I don't want Trav to blow up. Got a gas leak in the house. So really taking the money to use that, he'll take it from his team. So kind of the direction, they've got an incredible brand. They've got one of the best brands I've ever seen. But they do kind of the investor type letter. So they go a lot of hardcore, just drop, I mean, they'll drop 75,000 letters, just blanket an entire area. So, the objective was to just create more coverage, right? So Davis, I know we're kind of thinking about that, obviously with Zillow Flex being able to get more coverage, but it's just interesting kind of that angle and the direction they're going. And really, even a team that will do, I think 2026, the goal is 600 million, 2027 is a billion. So just building to up to ramp to that, but it's still the same vehicle to create opportunities to go make more investments to build more wealth. It's the same thing that we've all been talking about, and it's but just even on that scale, right? Like that's just still the reason of chasing more production, because it creates more opportunities. But I think, Kyle, you've done a really good job. We pulled up your site, looked at it, um, and he they're they don't want to go and brand themselves kind of guaranteed cash offer. Nobody in Canada does. But if they do that, then it's kind of that slippery slope, right? To where you've got a great consumer facing brand, but yet you go now branding guaranteed, cash offer, it moves away, right? So that becomes the brand. I think you've done such a really good job keeping your face with it and strongest cash offer. So it was just kind of interesting, kind of see just even up north what they're thinking about and the direction to be able to go. That was kind of our big focus, right? Not losing sight of freedom, not losing sight of maximizing this vehicle to be as profitable as possible, and then use those profits to go build wealth. And that was, I mean, that was really the theme coming out of there. And so it'll be really interesting, um, how the next few months plays out in Canada, which will kind of shape going into 26 and beyond. But Joel, kind of, I mean, obviously coming out of Dallas, I mean, any conversations, anything paying attention to, anything kind of seeing?
Um, not not particularly with the market, but the theme. So I did two back-to-back strategy days with two different fractional clients, and then I had a pretty long call with Jim Griffin. Just he wanted my advice on a opportunity, and the theme of it all was kind of like evaluating the opportunities and how should we be thinking about all the things that we could do so that we can get to what we're actually going to do. And so both of the fractional clients I was meeting with, there was a lot of stuff happening where there's products, there's services, there's opportunities, and people are playing into fear a lot. Like, hey, scarcity, this new lead gen service is marketing, not your competitor, and now we're like, oh gosh, maybe we should do this. Or just, hey, there's this thing on the horizon that we think is really cool, maybe we should do this. And so we had a lot of conversations about how do we evaluate the opportunities. So a few of the questions that we talked through that I think would be valuable for everybody as you're thinking about strategy. One that we asked a lot was, is this opportunity still going to be here next quarter? If it's not the priority today, can it still be the priority 6 months from now? So sometimes yes, sometimes no, right? So Kyle Davis with Flex, like that opportunity might be gone if you don't capitalize it. So that's a puzzle.
Yeah.
You might not be able to get that back if you say no to it right now. Whereas, hey, can I start my YouTube channel in Q2 next year versus right now? Like, yeah, probably, right? That opportunity is probably still going to be there. So that was a big piece of it. Another big piece of it was just like making sure that they're these opportunities or the things you're going to pursue are in alignment. So something new, shiny object syndrome, we call it sometimes, but sometimes it's like shiny object syndrome has kind of a negative connotation. A lot of times it's you're evaluating, you're trying to choose between a bunch of good ideas, and that makes it difficult. But is it really in alignment? Is this billboard campaign that you've been offered really in alignment with what the other things that you're doing in your marketing and kind of what you want to do in your business? So that we had a lot of conversations around just evaluating things. And I guess, kind of what I'm seeing in the marketplace is what we've been talking about all year, I think, but just like a little bit of fear, which means people have a tendency to try to do too much because, oh, I got to do this, and this because we're playing a little scared. We're playing a little bit from scarcity. And so there's more temptation, I think, to dilute yourself and overcommit when there's some fear and uncertainty in the market.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, I think, yeah, so this is, had the same conversation with, so two things that starting to continue to see. One, making sure everybody's on the same page, have, husband and wife team talk to, she's the driver. He's just kind of, he crushes production, but he's also, a WI, yet, kind of where's the vision? So really taking them through the freedom exercise and getting real clear on, are we moving closer to our perfect day? Are we moving closer to financial freedom? I know some of you guys, like you guys could not go as hard if you didn't want to, right? But you continue to choose to go hard. So I think like with the shiny objects and the opportunities presenting you, I mean, I think really crystal clear. Is it moving me closer to freedom or is it moving me further away? I think that's the biggest thing. The other thing too, people are like really paying attention and really starting to look to make a move. To the fear component, there are a lot of agents that are moving in fear, and so they're looking for leadership. And had OG Ryan Smith down in Temple, Texas. Kyle, you probably remember Ryan, and had him on the podcast yesterday. And just we were talking about the leadership void and the skills gap in the industry right now. And so I think for a lot of agents are looking for leadership. They're looking for skills. They're looking for that training. And what's crazy is that what we've been talking about, the kind of consolidation of people kind of coming together, had a client, and one of the other top agents in the market was on one of the best teams in the market. And that team lead is Remax, old school, just not like good, not going to keep pushing. And her ace is like, hey, hey, I'm looking to grow this opportunity. Like, I need to make a move because I'm not going to stay here and stay complacent. I don't think Remax is for me. So reached out to this client and is like, hey, I want to come together. I want us to do something together. I don't want to be just an agent on your team. I want to help you grow. So it's just interesting. And then like even the guys last week, getting to the agent headcount we need to be at to be able to make sure we hit the production goals. And I'm like, it's going to be hard if we add one at a time. How can we go get, and like he's chasing down a 20-person team. He's like, I'm on him. He's like, I'm going to close them. I'm going to get them in, roll them in with us, and just continue to grow faster. So I think that's some of the thinking as well. And that's what I was telling the client yesterday that wants to come out. And I'm like, listen, I said, it has to, like, it can't go one plus one equals two, right? If she comes together with you, it needs to be one plus one equals four, right? We need to make sure that, she's making 250. I'm just using simple math, right? You're clearing 250, she's clearing 250. That doesn't mean that we stay at 250 or even 500. We need to make a run to 750 or a million. And so that's where she was trying to get it. Can this addition help us multiply instead of just incrementally improving? So I think there's some things like that. I think you guys are all going to continue to get approached. I think more and more people are going to be able to reach out if we're receptive. I think that's key thing to be thinking about. And then I think the other thing is just staying all over, lead generation. I mean, it's just absolutely critical. Lead generation, qualified opportunities, just going through the process. So that's just kind of what I'm seeing, coming out of, different strategic conversations, thinking about the future, looking into kind of 26 and the opportunities that you guys are going to have. I mean, because all three of you guys crush production. So production is attractive. So being able to make sure that, we're clear as people are going to be reaching out in conversations. Does that align to you guys moving closer to freedom, or is it going to move you further away? Cool. All right, Kyle, you were in first. Let's jump in.
Hey,
So got to connect with Kyle for a few minutes yesterday, and we were talking about um, obviously Flex, up and running December 2nd. So, I mean, I'll let you kind of jump in, kind of where you're at with things, and then any kind of questions and things that you have.
so on the Flex run, me and Charlie are working on getting all the documentation into Zillow. So apparently it's a 2-month process to get rolling. So we've got to get our broker signatures in and just all of our, I guess it would be kind of like disclosures, whatever it is, like just all our agreements signed with them. There's just like a laundry list of things that have to be turned in by November 7th. I have a deadline. And then December 2nd is the final deadline. I've also got to get Follow Up Boss implemented because you have to have Follow Up Boss to do Flex.
Yep.
I got a lender paying for that, so I already met with him. He's hooked up with Follow Up Boss. He's going to get to where he's paying for it. So that's 500 a month. So I really didn't want to pay for that and pay the referral. So I figured it's a win-win because it's a no-brainer for him to spend 500 bucks a month on getting anything we get from Zillow. So
Yeah.
and I was very clear to him. I said I still have another lender. So I was very transparent on that. He knows that. So goal is to feed him, but also he knows I do have another lender. So um got that rolling, got my new website up for strongest cash offer from the Carrot site. So I got to do a little changes on that. He put Norman all over it, which is great. But if I get something out of Norman, I don't know if he built multiple pages with multiple names, but he acted like he was going to build multiple pages. So I don't know if he built a page for each city. So I got to figure that out. So let's see that one.
Yeah, I see that. I would get Norman all. I mean, I would take it off and maybe I don't know.
I don't know if he
Joel,
built one
thoughts?
for each city, and then if they are talking about Norman, it goes to a Norman. If they're talking about Moore, it goes to a Moore page. He said he was going to build like 60 pages. So I need to make sure and see if he built a page for each city or not, and we'll see. So I'm just not sure what he did yet.
Okay, all right.
But got that rolling. So that's been a 2 month process. And so that's good. Yeah. And then the other thing is just meeting one on one with each agent. I'm getting them like bought into the Flex program and helping them understand where it's going to benefit them in the future and really trying to like hit the pitfalls early of like you just can't get focused on the referral fee. You've got to think of 3 to 5 years from now, your business is going to be 10 times easier because you're going to be building your client base. You're going to start getting referrals. And so really just trying to get them bought into understanding where the benefit in Zillow is. And then lastly, what you were talking about earlier was like the opportunity in the market. And I've been talking to them about the opportunity in the market is like we have no agents showing up. Like we've got 150 people in our office. And I bet I can count 8 people a day that are in our office. Like people have lost so much hope that they stopped coming in. And I'm telling them like this is your opportunity. Yeah, there's less buyers, but nobody's coming to work.
Yep.
Like if you'll get out there and do the open houses and go to work, like 100% you're gonna be successful. So we're kind of talking to them about that being the opportunity in the market right now. It's just I actually talked to Brian Moses the other day, and he was telling me something about the 3 S's. And one of the S's for success was like state, and it was state of mind. And he was like,
Mhm.
if your state of mind isn't right, you're not going to be successful. Like, and so I've been really talking to him about their state of mind, and everybody's state of mind is hopeless. Like a lot of people's is hopeless. And so anyhow, I've been talking to them about that and in our one-on-ones and just really trying to get their state of mind correct for everything to go into the new year. So feel like I've got a good pulse on everything. I had a client last week that was really taking my energy. I had to fire them and I really got it back. So that was good. And so feeling good, things are going good. And yeah, so
Yeah, so I mean, I think you're spot on. So how do we instill hope into the team, into the agents?
I think on my team, I'm really trying to get them to get a strategy and execute on the strategy because no one has a strategy right now. Like their strategy is, hey, nothing's happening. We're even going into winter. It's going to get worse. We're staying home. They're not coming into the office. Like I'm really trying to hit on. I saw this thing the other day that said like in business, the biggest problem is execution. Like 100%, like it's not even having the strategy. It's a lot of people have strategies, but like they just can't execute. And I'm like, I'm just really trying to get them bought into the hope of like, if you have a strategy and you stick to it, like you're going to win in this market. Like
Yeah.
no one is doing that and no one is showing up. So I'm just really trying to, in my one-on-ones, make sure they have a strategy and moving towards that and progressing every day. So
Yep. Yeah, I think clarity and a plan and then holding them accountable to it. I
yeah.
mean, that's really it. Making sure, if they're not going to do it for themselves, if they've got kiddos, tying them into that, at least they're doing it, for the kids.
Yeah.
So giving them some hope, giving them some, if you can help them get some wins
Mm-hmm.
and everything changes when people have money in their pocket. Like
100%.
everything changes. So ways to get them to close deals. That's why I like flex in tough markets, especially with agents that are struggling because they can get some easy, quick wins. Now they don't make a ton of money. You don't make any money, but that gets them some confidence because now they're putting some money in their pocket. That
Yeah.
changes everything.
Definitely.
Everything. You want to change behavior, get some money in their pocket. So that's, for you as a leader thinking through, how you can help them win. I mean, utilizing flex. I think Hart has always had the right mindset with Zillow and with flex.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's always been to get their agents to the closing table fast. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. And then his top producers can dip in when they're slow, so it keeps their momentum.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, they're closing deals. People's attitudes are completely different.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
And Kyle, I think when you're talking about the opportunity right now with your agents and activity execution, I think this is a season of like talk about it all the time.
Yes.
Well,
Yeah.
like every day, you're talking about it right now, like until it's getting ingrained in the ones who are gonna step up to the plate.
No.
But you can't. It's not possible to over communicate that message right now.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, I mean that's just where you got to get into handful of rules and repeat yourself often, right? Default back to that. What's the theme, what's the message, and just make that rally cry.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Full throttle it just has to be right now. Um, and then I think for you on the strongest cash offer, get clarity on that carrot site. I don't like one central site just being Norman, not for you,
Yeah.
because I think with you taking down Flex throughout the entire Metroplex, to me, it opens up strongest cash offer all over the city.
Yeah. I'll double check that.
Yeah.
Get checked. Yeah.
When I talk more to Scott, probably in January, because Scott's big thing right now is he wants to raise money. Like he wants to go raise millions to go after the investment side and then also money to make money.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll keep you guys in tune on that because if I can get that playbook from him, game on,
Yeah.
game on. Um, yeah, it's it's the move, and I think you're right there too. I mean, you could play that game. I just need to see, the ins and outs. And a mentor of his taught him how to play that game a long time ago. And so his whole real estate is like, I mean, he's not afraid to drop 60,000 on flyers and ads because he knows he'll make 120. He keeps overhead as low and lean as possible, and then just takes all the profit in cash and reinvests it right back into ads, but also puts the money out there to make money. And then, he's the guy that, if he has a listing that's say it's priced at 500, it probably needs to be at 450. He'll make a 375 offer on it. And he'll just say, "Hey, I got an investor offer at 375," just to get them to, he plays the Trump, the art of the deal, right? He gets them, sets the floor with
Mm-hmm.
with the investor offer to get them off of high center to get to where it needs to be priced to sell. So
Yeah.
just little things like that you know all three of you guys can play, the
Mm-hmm.
investor game and play it at a high level.
Yeah.
Cool. Any other, I mean, obviously we're everything that's going to get us set up for flex, everything that has to happen there. Good job getting a lender to pay for FUB.
Yeah.
Um,
Trying to think of what else. I mean, other thing is just getting my cash off my investment sold. I've got three that I've got to still sell. I'm close on one, and it's actually my buyer, and I'm getting a listing out of the deal. So I'm really close. Hopefully, I'll have one of those sold this week. I've had to remodel. Like I said, I told you all this last time, but I remodeled everything twice this time,
yeah,
so I've got everything back. Well, I got one I've got to finish up, and then it's going to be back on the market. But I had a flood in one, and that was terrible. So yeah, hire a real plumber.
yeah.
My
It's always,
handyman fixed the toilet and it's a $6,000 floor.
yeah, yeah.
So yeah, it was dumb.
Ugh,
But anyway,
sick.
just some of the just those little problems I'm fixing, and yeah, I can't say enough about like just keep hitting on reviews because I'm just having so much luck from Google from just continuing to get those reviews and those updates we were talking about. Like this this week I had some cash buyer out of Fort Worth just wanting a game home here and he spent 950 grand just and found me on Google and then checked me on Zillow. And so just having those reviews, like just because they find you, I've kind of realized like just because they find you doesn't mean they'll use you. But if you've got the good quality reviews and a lot of them, man, like it's just it's not a tactical strategy, but long term, man, like it's strong.
I'm gonna send you guys something that
You bought a game home, like a
A football game home, 950, and he just got extra money. So and he might move here one day, and he was like, I need something that I would live in if I'm going to do that. And I'm like, okay, sounds great. Cash money. And then he was going to buy 28 acres that was even close to there just as a future investment for 950. And I was just like, this is a good dude to know, you know?
Mhm.
But yeah, just off Google and Zillow.
And Zillow's not running any cash offer stuff anymore, correct?
They have a cash offer thing on their website, and I'm talking to them about getting in the Flex program for sellers, and I'm trying to get into that too. And I just told them I was like, I'm actually better at sellers, and I'm fine at buyers, but like I can kill it on the seller side if y'all want and I have a lot of listings, and so I'm trying to get them to push me onto the Flex side out the gate, which usually they don't do, but I'm trying to get them to just because the proof's in the pudding. Hopefully, I've just got
yeah.
enough clout with them. So.
I just forwarded you guys one of Chris Smith's emails from a couple of weeks ago where he talks about AI optimization, and I put it to the team just to see. I haven't heard back on that, but he said becoming the AI recommended agent in your market. The playbook is Google Business Profile is essentially your AI resume.
Mhm.
So, structure complete and regularly updated profiles give AI the source of truth it needs to trust you. Photos, post, and matching name, address, phone across the web reduce ambiguity. Engineer reviews with quotables. This was a big one, right? We've been talking about this, right? We want reviews about how the sausage is made, how it kind of goes through. But what they said is quotables. So when AI responds, it often lists direct phrases from reviews. Um, to include specific like best agent in blank neighborhood or saved us blank after inspection makes those words show up in AI outputs. So getting quotables from, exactly that's what like this is exactly what they did. Hey, we went through inspection, we thought the deal was dead. Our agent came in, negotiated at a high level, saved us X, Y, and Z, is able to get into the home, whatever the story is. Um, publish publish like people ask, right? People don't type best schools in best schools Dallas when they say, hey, where should I live in Dallas if I want walkability near schools? So writing posts, uploading YouTube videos, and Google Business Profile updates in the same conversational format makes it easier for AI. So being able to do that, and that's weird. Sorry, just kicked me out. Oh, let me get back to it.
Do you know if like somebody writes just a blank like review like that doesn't have a lot of good info, if you respond with good information like, hey, we were really glad to sell your home in Norman or in the Carrington Lakes
Hmm.
neighborhood.
I would, yeah,
I don't
I
know
would,
that.
I would respond right back to that same way. Yeah, absolutely. I'm
Yeah.
glad we were able to save you guys, X% off of whatever. Hey, I'm glad we were able to help you guys accomplish your goals, get you in that, school district that's walkability for you to be able to walk your kids to and from school. I would just do stuff like that. And then consistency everywhere. So same identity block across Zillow, Realtor.com, LinkedIn, Yelp, directory, social channels. AI struggles when data doesn't match. And then citations, local press mentions, industry outlets, and even being quoted on niche sites compound trust signals that models weigh heavily. And then they said, here's the kicker, Reddit also matters a lot. So there's some just some good little nuggets to be intentional online. So I thought that was pretty gold.
That's all I got.
Cool. All right, Sam.
Yeah, my my last few weeks have been busy and good. Been production focused. Last time I ended the meeting with a couple of good big wins. At the time I was as high as 3 in the state for individual agents. By the end of the month, I dropped down to number 10, but still top 10. I'm happy with that.
I love it.
So my closings happened earlier in the month and put me on the top of the leaderboard, but it is what it is. I'm happy with
I
the
love it.
end result.
Yeah.
So October is okay. November's looking pretty good too. So
Okay.
production's okay, but I got a couple big deals that just can't get sold. But that's besides the point. That's occupying the majority of my time, and as it should, keep that cash flow going. So also making progress. Got to share this crazy thing. We all work on social media and trying to get posts to, gain traction. I post a silly 30-second video of an elk crossing the street, and I get
That was awesome.
15
Yeah.
to 20 times the reach I typically
Yeah.
get with that thing.
Yeah.
So it's kind of silly. I didn't even put much of a, effort into it, and all of a sudden
Right.
it's goes like crazy. But
That's
yeah,
funny.
that's normal for me
Updates.
in September and October. That's just a normal sight for me. And I just decided to actually record it this time.
Yeah. I mean, you get those, you get that, you get any moose, you get anything. I mean, I would throw it up there.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm seeing deer every day, elk every day, but nothing was as picturesque as that one. Had the,
No.
colorful leaves in the background, had the people around. Anyway, that was kind of fun to see that take off.
Yeah. That's good. I mean, it's part of the fantasy of living in Estes Park, right?
It's true. That's
Yeah.
true. So got that going. My daughter's been working on a video for me. It's more focused just on me and my branding. I feel real good about that. That's in its final stages of being finished up. So I'm excited for that to go live here soon. Also made big moves. Told my VA that we're going to be wrapping up and shipping him out and trading in for an executive assistant instead. So the marketing VA that I thought was kind of more of a B player, but a good guy and a loyal guy for a long time, finally pulled the trigger and let him know that he's going to be on his way out. So he's wrapping up his procedures and what he's been doing, and going to be working with Sphere Rocket to replace that with an executive assistant. It's going to be a full time with me and keeping me efficient with my calendar and emails, and being more efficient at getting more things done while keeping the production high, and recruiting more, and all the other things that fall off the priority list as I'm bugging myself down with.
Is that gonna pick up some of the slack with Naomi leaving?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm going to have a couple of months of overlap between the executive assistant, who's going to be full time by my side, and then Naomi as she leaves in these last couple months, filling in the details and helping fill in the cracks, with her exiting in about 2 months' time, 3 months' time.
Okay.
3 months. So I feel like that's in motion and making progress. It was
And then what are you doing what are you going to do on the social side of things?
the social side of things. I'm going to be kind of me and my executive assistant in charge of that. So I'm going to keep that on my plate as head of marketing, and also having the executive assistant help as much as possible with that. So it's not going to be. I'm really not sure how it's going to look, but I wasn't happy with delegating enough, all of the social side of things to my VA, because it was always reiteration and change this and change that, and time after time going back to them before it was right. That was just a huge time suck. I might as well do it myself and get it done in half the time, until I find somebody that's going to be able to do that the right way and get it in get that rhythm of posting and creating content, and
Was the marketing VA doing the editing, or did you have somebody else doing it?
the editing was all on them, and it just kind of fell out of the rhythm of high production, and it was just took a long time to get anything done, and everything that came back was just needed to be fixed and not
Yeah.
right at the end, which is why I made the change. But the unfortunate thing is he's a good guy. He's loyal. He's been with me for 2.5 years and has just been falling off over time instead of getting better. So it was one of those hard calls that I've been meaning to do for a long time and finally pulled the trigger. So it feels good to be making the moves, but not easy in the process either. But in the grand scheme of things, getting the org chart right with Naomi leaving, doing an executive assistant, and changing the game from a straight marketing VA to kind of a help me do all the things all at the same time, I think is going to be good. And then eventually, I would like this VA to be able to manage multiple VAs that are more specialized, but I'm not quite ready for that yet. I need to get my systems in order for
Okay. Yeah.
solo man.
My only like, and you probably find somebody per project basis is just the editing of the videos.
Okay.
Those are just gonna be time consuming for you.
Yeah.
And who knows if this new hire even has the capabilities of doing that. So that just might be a Fiverr or a I don't know where else, Joel, that could look just for project, basis if we're doing a
I think
video a week or
Fiverr's probably still the best for
Okay.
I'm
I'll
still the
keep that in
best for
mind.
project base. Sam, you can. This might be a situation where it's going to Sphere Rocket and saying, "Hey, like add $2 an hour to the search for this position and get me somebody really top notch." Like if you're telling me an EA is $4 to $6 an hour, like make it 6 to 8 an hour for your search and get me somebody who's really great. Because when you get somebody really top notch, it's so much easier to just say, "Hey, are you interested in learning some basic video editing skills?" And usually, when you get kind of a growth minded, A player type person, like that's not unreasonable to say, "Hey, are you interested in picking up an additional skill? I need you to be the best video ever, but I need you to do this or that." So something to think about. Generally, I know that that's frowned upon from Sphere Rocket side of like mixing that kind of stuff. But you see it time and time again where somebody who's got a really great EA, that person starts to pick up a bunch of other stuff too. That's kind of how my whole career started, right? I was a TC then, but I just started taking on other responsibilities and learning new skills, and so that's out there. You just have to kick the price range up a little bit.
Yeah. So you
So
think
something to think about.
you think $6 to $8 an hour is the right price range to get that top level?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Cool.
probably closer to 7 to 8, but that's, I mean, for $40 a week or $80 a week, it can be a game changer versus an EA who's just gonna be consistent and do things well, but not really be able to take initiative or not really be interested in learning new skills. And
Yeah.
so
Yeah, that conversation right there proves that I've been overpaying for what I've been getting. $8 an hour for the VA that I've had as a video editor, and I know video editors come at a premium, but I just wasn't getting the output and the process that I needed to be successful. So
Okay.
yeah.
Cool.
Yep.
Yeah, I like that. Cool.
Good. Thanks for that conversation. I appreciate that. Excited for EXP kind of coming up next week too. So Kyle, you guys headed down there? Not this time, huh? All right. Well, I'll find other people to hang out with then.
I'm sure you will.
Renee's going. She called me yesterday, and I think all of the kind of the girls there out of Cleveland. I think they're all going. So
Good. Yeah, I'll probably connect with them.
yeah, so that'll be
There are quite a few other people that I'm looking to connect with down there, so it'll be a good time.
Cool. Good stuff. All right, Sam, you good?
I'm good, thank you.
All right, Mr. Kyle. Where's Dan?
Dan's showing houses. He's headed to Omaha for MEA break later today, so he needed to show houses this morning.
Gotcha. So what's he going up there for? Or over there for?
Go to the zoo and go to some hiking trails with his family.
Okay, so his little family getaway. Okay, cool.
Oh, so in Minnesota we have MEA break, which is where the schools are out on Thursday and Friday every year.
Gotcha.
This weekend. So
Yeah. No, nice. We have yeah, so like Zane's here this week. Got fall break. So but PA, I mean Pittsburgh, they don't do fall break, but they got Monday off, Columbus Day, and then they get this coming Monday off. So it's kind of like 2-3 day weekends, but yeah. Get it. Cool. That's awesome. Sweet. So bring us up to speed. What's been happening?
yeah, I mean it like extremely busy. It's been good. I've hit the goal for the year, so that's good.
Congrats. So we hit our goal.
Yeah.
It's October the
We're a
15th. We
little
already hit it. Yeah.
shy.
Oh, we're going to be
Dan's,
shy.
Dan's a little on the shy side. But I think I will end up selling about 60 houses this year, so that'll be good.
Yeah. The goal was 50, right? For you and 50 for him?
52 1 week, yeah.
Okay. So you're going to be at 60. Where's Dan going to land?
He's at 40 right now. So
Okay. So we still, if you hit the 60, he comes in north of 40. So we accomplish, so we can get 104
yeah,
between
I
the
mean,
two of you.
we'll beat it. I'm not.
That's pretty
Okay.
freaking impressive, the two of you, you know?
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
Yeah. House a week.
So we got that going. Hockey's kicked off, so I'm coaching my middle daughter's team and my son's team.
Okay.
And so that I have to sell these houses quick because I have no other time. Last night I was racing to get my boat out of the water because I dropped in the lake today.
Were you
But
and
that's
Dan able to meet last week, kind of talking about 26 and really kind of the strategy goal session?
that it's been an issue trying to get our schedules aligned, right? So we've been running like crazy and no, we haven't. So it's an issue. It's
Okay.
just so many things are, just like everybody, it's just like everybody wants a piece of your time, right? Everybody wants all your time.
Gotcha.
So
So
that's hopefully when he gets back from Omaha, things might we can nail something down. Um, yeah, I don't know. That's all. I mean, it's all good, right? It's nothing to complain about. But I haven't been journaling, and so I pulled out this journal that I don't know if it's my last one, but it was a prior one. And I wouldn't be surprised if it was my last one, but the last journal was 2015.
oh wow. Little
And I'm
decade break.
like, yeah. And so I was reading through it this morning, and I'm like, motherfucker, this is the exact same things 10 years ago as right now.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
I'm like,
What have I been saying about how I would coach me and Kinder 20 years ago? Because if you don't focus on freedom, you're going to wake up 10 years in the future and you're going to be in the same situation, maybe 5, 10, 15 pounds heavier. That's about it. So, like for y'all to sit down and get real stinking clear on what is freedom and really talking through with Joel talking about the model, like y'all need showing assistance. That's 100% what y'all need. And you can structure those on a small percentage basis, a small, fee at closing. This is kind of exactly what Joel has been talking about on the model. So the thing is that y'all don't have time is because your model's off. I mean, we're going to sell 104 houses between the two of you, stacking a lot of cash, but we need to figure out what we're going to utilize that cash for. But also, how can we create leverage that doesn't mean that you guys build a traditional team? So I think there's some things for you guys to think about. Where can we get you the freedom? But Joel broke it down. We did the session on one of the podcasts. We went through the kind of the business models moving into the future, and then Joel broke it down at Agent to CEO. And so that's definitely probably the conversation that y'all need to have on how do we give you guys more time freedom, and then utilizing the profits that you guys are making to pour back into. And I know, Dan has some reluctance, whereas you want to go full throttle. Who cares? Go. I mean, you guys got to get clear on what that looks like for each other, and then what are all the pathways to get there. But we're in a model conversation. And listen, if we don't start making those decisions, we're going to be back here in 2035 having the same conversation.
Yeah.
Just then the kids will be older.
Yeah. It was first day of staying home sick. Who's my middle daughter, right? And then I got a lot of prospecting done. Okay.
Is that what was in the journal 2015?
Do you
Yeah.
guys do you guys feel like, or maybe you don't agree on it or haven't talked about it, do you guys feel like whatever you do outside of real estate, you have to do that together too? Like from an investment perspective?
So, over the last 15 years, Dan and I have been together for 15, 16 years. And we have done it separately. Like Dan just hasn't, and I have. The whole cash offer thing kind of throws a little bit of curveball in it because that would be both of us. But I mean, it's not that big of a curveball. It's just if we can get it past his wife. The
Would it have to be both? Like, could you say, hey, this is my initiative, I'm gonna pay for it, I'm gonna run it, and you could just go all in at it? I'm not
it would
talking
have
about,
to be both.
I'm just thinking through options,
Yeah. And I mean, Dan and I know what each other's freedom is, right? What our freedom goal is. And I mean, he's an Army Ranger. He'd be happy living out in the woods on beans and rice,
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's Dan.
yeah.
Get him a couple cold beers every now and then. He's good.
Yeah. So it's slightly, I don't know, it's a slightly different dynamic because our end goals are different, right? Like I don't want to be done per se. I want to pass on a legacy to my kids, right? That they can maybe be better off one day. So yeah, I mean, realistically, it's a matter of two different trajectories, but it's the production stuff can all be done Dan and I.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's kind of weird.
What's your freedom?
Freedom, I guess, would be. I've always said $10 million is the freedom number, but then that $10 million has to keep rolling, right? It has to be making money because at that point, I have an income that is sustainable to live very nicely on for myself.
Very, very strong income, 10 million.
Yeah. So, well, but like, I mean, 10,
Even
like
if,
when I set that goal, uh, 20, I don't know, 15 years ago, $10 million was a lot bigger than it is today, you know?
Yeah.
yeah, but even if it was generating you, 4%, that 400 grand a year. So that's still a pretty good life. 6%,
Top line.
600K. So
Top line, right? That's not bottom line, but yeah.
sure, that'd be before taxes, but
Yeah, I mean, I think getting real, clear and then real serious about it, and then what are all the ways, and then how do you devise, the production model that supports you guys to be as lean and efficient and profitable as possible, but also give you the time that, is going to be non-negotiable, right? Like, for your, kiddos and family. So that's some conversations there. I mean, I think it's really how do we fine tune the model for you guys? I mean, the glaring red flag is that the two of you guys can't even sit down and have a conversation strategically about the future. I mean, to me, that tells me that things have to change for you guys.
I'm going to tell you that Tony Robbins has an app called like Tony Robbins Money or something like that. And he has an exercise you can go through and it tells you like your minimum, medium, and maximum like uh, freedom numbers. And it goes through like a level of questions and payments and stuff like that. And it's pretty cool. Like, and it tells you like, hey, this is kind of your minimum freedom. This is your, medium freedom. Here's your max freedom. And it really calculates like what the numbers are. Like, and it's a pretty cool exercise. It's called Tony Robbins Money. And but it's cool and it gets you real defined on the number based on if you want a vacation, if you want to fly private, if you want like whatever you want to do, like if you want to sit at the beach or live in the woods, like, but it helps you define that number.
I love it.
Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah, I mean, the one thing that we don't want right now, like, so we're just coming, so let's see, it's October. I think it was October last year that we dismantled the team, right?
Mhm.
So we have slowly, we tried to get on Zillow Flex for years, and just never happened, right? And so I'm super happy for you, Kyle. I think that'll work great. Now, but so this over this last year has been, I would like you guys have all seen it, it's been relatively stagnant, right? But it's also been like a recouping, like getting our head above water again, taking a breath. And I think I've gotten there and I know Dan has. Like he's like, man, I I get I got home at like 5 o'clock. I got home at like 4 o'clock. And I was able to, he's like, I got to spend time with my kids. They're talking to me again. And so it helps to clarify like what is good, like what we want, right? So now I think we're rolling into a point where we could be, with the team and so much other time sucks. You never really got a chance to really think about it. But I do feel like it's taken a lot more time than what you would think, and probably in a good way for us. So I think rolling into our strategy session should be a lot easier. Like we should be able to get a lot more clear.
yeah, I mean, I think there's something to that for sure. Like I kind of experienced that this year too with starting my own business with the goal of working a little bit less in the short term of like it took me a couple months before I was even really ready to think about what I wanted, just coming out of a decade of running at a crazy pace inside these companies. So for you guys, after running for 15 years and growing the team, so it makes sense that it's like, hey, we just weren't really ready to have that conversation or have that thought process yet. We just needed to get back to even keeled. And so and something for you guys too, and we've talked about this before, is like if we're talking all options on the table with what we want, if you guys said, hey, I really liked this year, like, yeah, we were busy, there's some good stress, maybe a little bad stress, but it's like, hey, do you just want to do this again? Like, that can be the strategy. And then but then it's got to be back to coach's question of, okay, what are we doing then with that income that's going to lead to freedom? Like, just from your real estate team, if you want, you just run it back. Let's do exactly what we did this year.
Mhm.
Or you could say, hey, let's do exactly what we did this year, but invest in some showing partners to free up some more time, or so have those. But the business doesn't have to grow. Like, I believe you're growing or you're dying, but it doesn't always have to be revenue growth in your business, right? It can be, hey, where are we growing this year? It's investing, or it's cash offer, or it's whatever. So I just want to, like, if you get really clear on things and you find out that we just want to do this again, like, don't apologize for that. But also, don't let yourselves off the hook too easy too. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. And that's very possible. I just don't want to open this thing up in 2035.
And nothing's
Son of
changed.
a bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think it will. I mean, I think, when you reflect back on it, and it's just like, we were tired, right? And we just wanted to breathe and get our footing. And, I mean, y'all dang sure hit the production goal, which is awesome. Um, and so now, yeah, I think just getting together, kind of going through and, really looking at the math of what we did over the last 12 months, and obviously, recoup, get our footing, and then, like Joel's saying, we do it, but we got some assists out there, right? Like, Leanne doesn't have anybody, but she's got a guy that she, will assist her, and she'll assist on his stuff because, she lists everything, and she'll brand it and market it, but she's kind of doing the assist just on the marketing side of things because she's got a bigger reach than Mike does. But like this weekend, something popped off at the last minute, the kids, and like, she just hit him up and said, hey, I need you to cover the open today. And, here's $200, cover the open for me. And he, went and did it. Just little things like that, just easy assists. So, cause I know you guys don't want to get back to the team, but, just starting to see what's important to you guys is family right now. So time is really important to you guys right now. So how do we do this and that, build for the future and keep more time protected for you guys? Those are just the things to think about. But yeah, I mean, it's really you and Dan being able to come together, and really talk through it.
Yep. 100%.
Cool. Yeah.
Good
That'd be the
stuff.
next kind of where you're at. I mean, I think, when we regroup back at the beginning of November, you know, because all of our decisions and things that we put in play going into November and in December will really start to translate in 26. So we've only got about, some of you guys got about, 15, 20, 30 days max, and then everything else starts rolling into 26. So that's where I would love to see from everybody. What's 26 goals, targets, and then what's 29. I think we're, possible. I mean, this is um, everybody kind of saying, right? All of the uh, tech side of things and people at the kind of at the forefront of things. I mean, 30s kind of that year, kind of the weird year that everything could kind of come together with AI. So we'll see. But I think for us, if we just focus on 26 and 26 to build to 29, so it's a 4 year sprint that we have. Those are probably the two things we need to be thinking about.
Mm.
It's the new Y2K.
Yeah.
That's what I thought the other day. Like, oh, this is like Y2K. Take over the world.
I don't know. I mean, it's not so much doom and gloom with it. It's just more so, where AI will be in 2030 is more of the conversation.
Yeah. It'll be interesting.
For
Um,
sure.
yeah, I think that's the big focus. But to what you guys said earlier, I mean, there's what Kyle was saying about just not showing up. I mean, just doing the damn work puts us ahead of everybody else.
Mhm.
It's crazy.
Showing up.
Showing up, doing the work.
Yeah.
Sweet. What else you guys got?
Hmm. So KT's November 6th.
Separation season. I love it. I love it. That's what
Mhm.
it is right now. It
It
is really
is.
separation. Yeah, November 6th and 7th. So we're gonna go virtual, but also in person if anybody wants to come in. Tim's coming up, and I don't think Joel can make it. It'd be awesome if he did, but we're gonna be in South Point, so it's 30 minutes from the airport, it's 30 minutes to downtown. It's
Mhm.
instead of coming from the airport going straight into downtown, you go right, come straight down 79 and South Point kind of business park. It's pretty cool little spot. I mean, the hotel there is the AC Marriott, so we stayed at the AC Marriott in downtown. So South Point has an AC Marriott. Um, One of the best steakhouses in all of Pittsburgh is in South Point at Nate's, and they got a cool little arcade bar across the street, and so Jen Burnett is one of Leanne's lenders, and she's gonna hook us up with one of our conference rooms. So we'll be there, and whoever wants to jump on, if you guys can't make it, and we're just really gonna go through, KT process, but really push you guys on 26, and then what has to be true. That's the kind of the process to get to going into 26.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So,
I
um,
I will not be able to make it.
yeah, I mean, it's tough. It's tough for everybody, this quarter, especially with I know for the EXP folks with EXP Con next week. But yeah, I mean, there'll be a few folks. I know DJ's around. Derb's gone. He's for as long as I've known him, for many years before that. They always do a week in Key West with his wife's family, and it's that week. So
I looked into the hotel, John, and it looks like it's booked up or the website's not booking anything that time.
interesting.
Yeah, I unless you got a room block, I don't think
No,
there's.
nope.
I looked at it last night and just looked at it now and seems to be booked.
Okay, I'll get there's a couple other hotels right there.
Yeah, I thought there was a Homewood Suites and a Holiday Inn, both few hundred yards away.
Yep, they're all right there. There's a handful right there. Yeah, Homewood. Let's see.
Looks like cheaper hotels too, not the $200, $300, $400 deals.
Yeah,
So,
there should be. So yeah, well, what it is, they don't have anything on the 5th, is what they don't. It looks like it's booked out on the 5th.
got it.
AC is okay. I'll Yeah, so Homewood is right there. Holiday Inn Express is right there. Um, Hilton Garden Inn is right there. Yeah, there's three other ones that are right there. Thanks for pointing that out.
Sure. Yeah, I'm inches away from committing. Just got to sort one more little detail out.
Yeah, Holiday Inn, Homewood, Hilton Garden, and then the AC. Yeah, those are three. Cool.
I'll let you know on me. I know we got a soccer tournament Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but I don't know if we got games Friday yet or not. And if I can pop in and pop out, I might come. So
Cool. That'd be awesome.
we'll see.
And then Joel, you out?
Yeah, I'm definitely virtual for this one.
Okay. Pull up South Point.
How you doing the virtual? Are we gonna have like a packet if we do that, or
Yeah, be Zoom like we did last year.
could like a team jump in if they were like obviously if they don't talk?
100%. I mean, even if you even if you come and you want the team to jump in, you're more than welcome to.
Cool.
Yeah, for sure. Cool. All right, guys. Well, let's rock and roll. Stay on that, and then really start pushing for kind of what 26 looks like, and kind of what the. I mean, less is more. I really have coming into that. You know, not trying to do too much, trying to do what's necessary, and that'll really move the needle for you.
Sounds good. Thanks, Jen. Thanks, Joel.
Yeah,
Thanks,
thank you.
Kyle.
Love it.
Thanks, Dan.
Got it.
See you guys.
See you guys.